We have already said all that needs to be said about constants, but we are not finished with variables yet. To fully define a variable, one needs to mention not only its type, that is integer, float, or character, you also need to mention its storage class. So we have not mentioned storage classes yet, though we have written several programs in C. We were able to get away with it because storage classes have defaults. If we don't specify the storage class of a variable in its declaration, the compiler will assume a storage class depending on the context in which the variable is used. Thus, variables have certain default storage classes. From a C compiler's point of view, a variable name identifies some physical location within the computer where the value of the variable resides. There are basically two kinds of location in a computer where the value can be kept. They can be kept either in the main memory, which is also known as your RAM or your random access memory, or they can be kept in the CPU memory, which is known as the cache. Now, a RAM is typically 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes in size. A cache is typically few KB, few hundreds of kilobytes to 4 megabytes at most. So a variable, if it is stored in the RAM, it is going to be slower because you have to search for the entire RAM to find it. But a variable that is located in the CPU memory or in the cache is going to get accessed very soon because of the small size. So speed is greater for cache than RAM. However, since the cache is very small in size, you cannot store a lot of variables in the cache. But a RAM is much bigger than a cache, so you can store multiple variables in a RAM very easily. So that's the trade-off between storing variables in the cache or in the RAM. So a storage class or the storage class of a variable, it's going to give information about where it is going to get stored in memory. So a storage class, it's going to do multiple things. So it's going to give information about where the variable is stored. So is it the RAM or cache? The second information that a storage class gives is what is the default initial value. So let's say you declare the variable and you do not initialize it. It has to contain some default initial value. So that's div. Third is the scope of the variable. The scope of the variable, it's going to tell us to which function is it local to. To which function is it local to? And the fourth thing that it's going to tell is the life of the variable. That is, when is the variable deleted? There are four storage classes in C. The first one is the automatic storage class. The second one is the register storage class. The third one is the static storage class. And the fourth one is the external storage class. Let's look into each one of these individually.